What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today, as you can see right in front of me, we have some new absolute epic fancy goldfish to go into the Goldfish mega tank. So make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. As always, check out our sponsors down in the description below, Jimmy Goldfish USA and Star Fisheries. Today, as you can see, we have a massive poly box in front of me, which means, yes, we are adding some more fish to the Goldfish mega tank. As you would have seen in the last video, we added a couple of new Oranda, and in this video, we are going to be doing exactly the same. Now, these fish were an import through a company that I used to work for. Now they are suffering quite a lot, so I really want to get this acclimation done very, very quickly. And it looks like the bags may have leaked a little bit in the poly box just whilst they were shipping. So I'm going to get them added to the tank. And I want to get this acclimation done as quickly as possible. So now the fish are sitting in the tank, I can talk a little bit more about them just while they are acclimating. So these fish have come in at around 22 degrees. They originally, I believe, started their journey at around the 24-degree range, but obviously as they've come into the UK, that temperature slowly dropped and they are sitting at around the 21-22-degree range. Now my tank is sitting at 20 degrees, so there's only a 1 degree difference, so acclimation is going to be fairly quick. Now as I did import these fish, they are struggling quite a lot, and hopefully you have seen my video that I did on importing fancy goldfish, which was about a couple of weeks ago, and the risks and potential detriment it can have on the fish and just the risks doing it as a hobbyist. Now I would say this is probably going to be my last import, especially for a long amount of time, because these fish are really suffering and there was a chance that I could lose them, and if they lost them I would have lost all of my money. So I think from now on I'm probably going to be purchasing my fish from local fish shops, and I'm probably going to be purchasing some more fish in the future from Star Fisheries. The two Oranda that I got from them previously are doing absolutely great, and you may be thinking, why are you adding so many fancy goldfish at once? Well, it just so happened the import collided with my trip to Star Fisheries, and that is why I have suddenly got 4 fancy goldfish or 4 Oranda within a 1 week period. You may be saying, wow, you're not going to quarantine these new fish, they could have diseases, bacteria, parasites. That is correct. I'm not going to be quarantining these fish just because I want to make sure they go into a big body of water, lots of oxygen and good water quality environment. Now I could quarantine them, which would probably be the safer bet to protect my current fish, but currently I only have 5 fish in the tank. Once I've added these fish, there is a likely chance that I will quarantine all new fish, no matter where they come from, going into the tank, because then I have a reasonable size collection and I don't want to potentially cause any parasite issues or disease outbreaks in the tank. But yes, I am going to be taking the risk adding these 2 new fish to the tank, and I will have to deal with any issues that may arise because they are a direct import fish, so they have come from a farm. Now, I have done a video all on importing, the pros and the cons. If you want to see that, I'll put a little link to it up in the description. I definitely do not suggest doing it for the majority of hobbyists because it can be a very costly method, and sometimes it can be very disappointing when you receive the fish and they haven't made it. And you need to make sure you are doing it through a 100% legitimate method, and unfortunately there are not many providers for that in the UK. So I would say the majority, buy your fish from your local fish store. They have been quarantined, they've already done all of that hard work in sourcing good quality fish, and you're going to be adding them to your tank likely without any parasite issues or any disease issues as well. So I'm going to let these acclimate for around another 10 minutes or so. Get the bag open and then put the fish straight into the water. So these fish have now been acclimating for around 15 minutes. Now I could acclimate them a little bit longer, but I really want to get them out of this water. They are really, really lethargic, really sluggish and they are not breathing very quickly. So I really want to get them out of this dirty water because it is likely full of ammonia that has been released from them during the shipping process, and I really want to get them into some clean water. Now I have used my temperature probe to make sure the water is the same temperature as that it is in the tank as well. So it's always important to check that. Now, hopefully now you will get to see a first glimpse of the fish we are adding to the tank. So you'll see I've got 2 bags here, and 2 bags means I have 2 fish. Normally they would put quite a few fish in a bag, but these fish are very, very big. Now I've just removed the elastic band. I'm just going to roll down these bags. You may notice that the water is a yellow, kind of goldish colour, and that is because it is full of albumin, which is like an antibacterial treatment. So this is the first fish, which is a tiger oranda. Absolutely stunning, straight into the water. Swimming down to the bottom, I've got to cross my fingers we don't have any buoyancy issues, because that is always a problem when importing fancy goldfish and always a risk. So I'm just going to remove this bag from the water now. The next oranda we have is a all orange oranda, similar to the one we got in the last video, but this one has a slightly different body shape and slightly different wen growth. So it will be really interesting to compare this fish to our other one in a video in the near future. Hopefully you can see her just go in the tank there. A little bit more lively than the tiger, but I'm just going to give them a little bit of time to acclimate. Then we'll get a few close-up shots of the fish and see how they're doing. So as you can see right behind me, the new fish are in the tank. Touch wood, they are both alive. You can see we have the orange oranda here, and we also have the tiger down the bottom. Now you will notice both fish are sitting on the bottom, and the tiger is trying not to keep rolling onto its side. You will notice it's rolling onto its side, and this is one of the many potential risks we have if you import your fish through a licensed transhipper or an importer. And it is always a big risk, and it is why I'm happy that the fish have survived. My last fish that I imported survived as well, and I think I'm going to probably leave my risk there, especially for the short-term period for sure, because those fish have survived, touch wood. They are not out of the woods yet. As you can see, the tiger is on its side, and it's really hard to see the fish like this, and it is a risky process. But obviously if the fish do survive and they do make it, then I've saved quite a bit of money, but sometimes it's just not worth it. So I'm absolutely happy that the fish are alive at the moment, and hopefully they make a full recovery. By the time you see the next video come out, you will know how they are doing, how well they are doing. So I've got my fingers crossed here, and hopefully you guys got your fingers crossed at home. But I don't think we're going to be adding any more fish to the tank for a while, and I'm just happy that these fish are okay. I'll try and get some good shots of them. If you do follow us on Instagram, you will probably see these fish and you'll know how they're doing just before this video comes out. So if you do want to see any exclusive content that does come out before the video airs, then please follow us on Instagram. The link is down in the description. That is it for today's video. Hopefully you've seen the pros and cons to importing fancy goldfish, and you can make up your mind on whether you want to import your fish or not, as you would have seen our last video on importing. But I would say for 99% of hobbyists, if not 99.9% of hobbyists, buying your fish from your local fish shop where they've been quarantined, they've already been imported, your dealer has taken all of that risk, and you can select exactly what fish you want in person is the best way to go in my eyes. Obviously, hopefully these fish will make it and I will come off in a good situation or good scenario. But I think by the time we see the next video, I'm going to give the tank a little clean up, because as you can see, I haven't cleaned it, so it's due for a clean. We've got lots of diatom algae, but that is it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you do have any questions on importing or buying your fish, and you also have any questions about the tank, then please leave me a little comment down below. But as always, thank you all for watching. Remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.